There's an interesting statement in the Gemara. The Talmud says, Melach mamon chaser. If a person wants to salt their money, salt obviously meaning to preserve, if a person wants to preserve their money, so they should decrease it. Now, that is counterintuitive because in life, if you want to accumulate something, the worst thing you could do is decrease it. If a person is studying for an exam, the last thing they're going to do is try to decrease their studying hours to do well on the exam. If a person wants to sell things in a store, he's not going to decrease his inventory in order to sell products. He's going to increase his inventory till there's more selection for the customers. So the Gemara's statement needs to be understood. What does that mean? Melach mamon chaser. If you want to salt your money, you decrease it. So, there's an interesting story. A guy once walked into the post office and he had a package. And he put it on the scale. And they asked, the guy said to him, listen, the package weighs too much. You're going to have to put more stamps on the package. So the guy said, but if I put more stamps on the package, it's going to be even heavier. So we understand that there are certain things in life where the heaviness or the value could increase or decrease depending on what surrounds it. When it comes to giving tzedakah, when it comes to giving meiser, a tenth of a person's money, the way it works is that Hashem is looking for people to distribute. He gives money to a certain individual, and he would like that individual to then distribute it to the poor people who he also takes care of, who HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of. So what Hashem does is, for example, you have a man, and the man earns $100,000 a year. The man religiously tithes his money, he gives away the meiser, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, wow, I've been looking for somebody like you. You are reliable, you give away 10% of your money, then the next year he gives him another $100,000. The man, again, religiously tithed his money. Hashem says, you're good. And the next year gives him another $100,000. This time the man decides, you know what? I'm going to give a little bit more. And he goes up to the limit, which is 20%, and gives away $20,000. And Hashem says, wow, I've been looking for a guy like you for a long time. You're giving away 20%. The next year he gives him $200,000. So now the man's net worth has increased, even though he's given more tzedakah. Melach mamon chaser. He's given away, but as a result, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has blessed him with even more. He has $200,000. This year he gives $40,000, where Hashem says, you're really good. And the next year he gives him $500,000. He has $500,000. He gives away $100,000. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you're unbelievable. So he kicks him all the way up to $1 million a year. $1 million a year, guy gives away $100,000. The next year, he only makes $800,000. The guy says, look, I had a bad year this year. I should have such a bad year. He only had $800,000. $800,000, the guy says, well, listen, to give away $160,000 is so much. So he cuts it down to $100,000. The Kodesh Baruch Hu says, no, not good, not good, not good. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, well, if you're only giving away 15% or 13%, so I'm going to cut you down to $400,000. $400,000, the guy cuts back again. And you work in a downward cycle. So when it comes to tzedakah, a person should know they never lose by giving tzedakah. The Gemara says, the pasuk says, tzedakah tatzil vivavis, charity saves a person from death. A person never loses by giving tzedakah. He could only increase his resources. There was a young girl who the father taught her, a 1.5-year-old girl, every night he would put her to sleep. And when he put her to sleep, he would give her a coin with a little tzedakah box right near her bed. And he would help the little daughter. They would put in the coin. They would say, tzedakah, 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 and she would drop the coin into the bed. One night, he put his daughter, it was a ritual they went through every night. One night, he put his daughter to sleep, and he walked out of the room, and about 20 minutes later, he heard noise in the room. So he ran into the room, and he noticed that when he had bent over to put his daughter into the crib, the coins that he had in his pocket fell out of his pocket. They fell right into the crib right next to her. Everybody knows that that's an extremely difficult thing for a little baby. If you put coins near a baby, that's obviously dangerous. To put coins near a baby is dangerous. Babies instinctively put the coins in their mouth. And instead of putting the coins in his mouth, his daughter was reaching over to the tzedakah box and trying to get it in, saying, tzedakah, tzedakah, tzedakah. It's tzedakah tatzil mimavis. So our message for everybody is that we never lose We are distributors for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If we give our tithes religiously, we give our meiser religiously, we give our tzedakah religiously, we could only gain from that. We have all the benefits of prosperity. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises us. This is the one area we could even test HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Uvichanunina bezos. We are allowed to test HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to give tzedakah, and then to reap the benefits of prosperity, life, and health, and all good things.